We have now gone live on the Electric Dice podcast, AD&D Tomoto Islands, for session 22, if you can believe it, and
Woo!
the second
Oh,
of the Velldammer Masquerade mini-arc.
Nice.
Yes, look at that. I am too zoomed in on this map, so let's back that off a little bit. Gonna give it just a second before I go into exposition, because I don't think anyone's actually been able to see the stream yet, and we don't cut into the action until we know someone can hear us.
Oh, I should probably check that.
I'm trying as well, but it's giving me the old link.
I can hear it.
Yeah? You can hear us?
Yeah. Nope.
You can hear you?
I can hear it too.
Okay, cool. Good. I still can't get it up, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Sounds like a personal problem.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the way it's gonna go, I'm just gonna be done. Like, I'm not in the mood for it tonight.
Okay.
Alright. We pick up on the game already in action. We see, or rather we hear, someone taking delicate but rush steps down a stone staircase, right? And the room is surrounded in darkness. And we see a door, right? And the silhouette of like an old form. Might be human, might be elf, might be half elf. It's not entirely, I mean, the audience is not clear, but there's someone inside this room waiting, right? The door creaks open and shuts behind them. And there's just sort of like a breathy sort of anticipation. And the individual that entered the room says, "Are you there? I didn't see you." And there's a grunt in the affirmative, right? But not an actual voice, right, to pick up. It says, I came. I wasn't seen. Why are we down here? And there's silence for a moment, and the voice says, "Well, did you bring it?" He says, "Yes, of course." Impatient, right? Like, very quickly. "Are they here?" He says, "You know they're here." "What are you going to do to them?" And then we hear heavier footsteps, as if someone clad in mail, right? You hear like the noise of like greaves on stone, right? Two short, quick steps, and then the sound of a knife plunging into someone's chest, and then just like the open, loud gurgle, right, of someone realizing that their lifeblood is leaking out of them, and just like an exasperated cough, and we hear a body sort of fall forwards onto the plate armor and then fall down. And then the door opens up, and we see a once friendly face of an academic and a scholar who has no friends and now has no life, as a large humanoid form leaves the basement, and we do not see their face. Alright, Squid, I think we're going to pick up with the actual players with yours, because yours was the most exciting and most dramatic of the three. What are you doing right now?
Well, I think we ended up with her giving the other cleric there the side eye, like, what is going on?
Did you just cut out?
Yeah, somebody did. I think it.
Hello?
Do you hear all that?
No, you cut out real awkwardly all of a sudden.
After you saying give him the side eye.
Yeah, I cut right off after side eye.
Oh yeah, just the side eye, like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm. So what's your plan now? Excuse me. Squid, can you hear us?
Yeah, does he answer her, or does he say anything?
All I heard is you gave him the side eye. I didn't hear you ask him a question. So what was the question?
What is going on?
I think you asked that last time, and he answered, "We have to kill Lord Velldammer before the Inquisition arrives." Do you remember that?
All right. Why are we not letting the Inquisition do their job?
And Black Ember, right, sort of turns and he looks around and he goes, "You're lucky we're not in the monastery. Time is of the essence. I haven't the means to explain to you everything. Simply put, Lord Velldammer has been very useful in moving things both onto and off of the islands, and that's all that you need to worry about."
He's been useful, and now you're gonna kill him?
Yes, well, the walls are coming down, if you'll notice. We're not here by friendly invitation of the good Lord Velldammer. We're here because there is a noose about to be tightened around someone's neck, and he's interested in it not being his. I don't suppose you want it to be yours, do you?
Of course not.
And you do serve Palor, yes? And he says that with, like, a haughty imperialist sort of, right? Like, I could get you to do anything because I know you're going to say yes.
She looks at him and straightens up a little bit and says, "Yes, I do serve Palor in the healing and peaceful domains that he teaches."
Yes. And we appreciate that. So many have started down that path, but you have to understand that this land is different than most, and well, the times they are changing. Palor has great need for a many different type. Mine is not as glamorous, but it serves a purpose. You know what the Black Order does.
Should I roll religion for that?
You failed the check last time. Now that being said, you could roll again. What do you have to roll below wisdom, right?
Yes.
Typically, you can roll again, but you're gonna have a +2 penalty because that makes sense. He hasn't given you much to go off of other than he's interested in someone who's been moving items both on and off of the island.
I got a syntax error.
Did you type /R?
No, I tried hitting the little macro.
Oh, your macros aren't built yet. I'm sorry. I've been sort of slowly churning through everyone's character sheets. It's been great.
Which is D20 plus 2?
Yeah.
Hey.
You are nothing but crits. Just crit success, crit fail, crit success, crit fail.
If only this was 4th edition.
Yeah, no,
Right?
you would have been all over the place. All right. Yeah, you fell asleep that day. Like, they're like, whatever Academy Day, they're like, we're going to go over the 9 different aspects of Palor and how each order comes together to, you know, whatever. And you were just like, all that matters is the healing and the goodness. And you just, like, cut out of class or something. I don't know what it was.
I know this one. It's the Boots of the South.
Yeah, pretty much. They keep you warm or something. I forget.
No, they keep you cool.
Oh, you're right. It was. Yeah. Yeah, no, he says it, and, like, he's looking away, like, he's, like, staring at, you know, like, some architectural bust or something, right? And he's, like, thinking about how all the good work he's done over the great many years, and the camera's just staring at you, and you're doing, like, the anime thing where your eyes have, like, the crazy eyebrows and your tongue sticking out, and it just does a dong. Because you have no clue what the Order of the Black Dawn does, despite everyone seeming to think you should. What do you do?
Remind me again what it is that you do.
He turns and he looks at you and he says, right now, I use the resources around me to get the job done. You're not being cooperative. If you would like, I can get you out of this party before the Inquisition comes. I'm not interested in having any more casualties. If you can't be helpful, I understand. It was a little pushy. What are your feelings about it? Because I know you mull it over a little, but what do you think Gwen's gut reaction is? Is she sick of giving this guy a chance, or?
Yeah, she's definitely not comfortable with the idea of full out assassinating somebody, especially when the Inquisition is coming to legally take care of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Is that something you'd be comfortable telling him, or is that something that you'd want to stay away from?
I think she's already tried saying that.
Fair enough. Do you want to fade away on that scene for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he gets kind of aggressive, right? He has his hand on whatever saint, whatever the fuck it was, right? And he turns and it's rocking precariously because he snapped when he turns and told you I'll get you out of this house if you're saying you're afraid, but I can't keep answering your questions, right? He was really pushy. And he just kind of stepped up to you, and the screen just fades to black as we hear the the pedestal tip and the sound of this bust falling off, whatever saint it was, but we haven't heard it crash or if somebody grabs it or whatever happens next. Tristan, you're up the stairs, right?
Yes, I am on the second floor.
All right. What's
So do we have a second floor map?
who do you think you're talking to?
Okay, good.
Of course we have a second
I
floor
should-
map.
Ooh, ballroom.
Dining and is it an overlook?
Yeah, it looks down over the other one.
All right.
Oh,
I asked for a room where I could mend a garment. Where would they have sent me to?
Yeah, they actually sent you to this room right over here.
To that room.
Yeah, I told you
Alright.
to hook around the stairs and to on the left. There's a bunch of different
Could you
rooms and sundries.
set my icon to be able to be moved by me?
No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Oh shucks.
I tried.
Dang. In that case, so I am in that room in spirit, as I am statuesque at the top of the stairs, posing for the people around me, in all my glory. And so I'm in the sewing room, looking around.
Try that one.
This one, yeah, I can.
I don't know why that.
Ooh la la.
happened, but, yeah.
So I'm in the sewing room.
Damn it!
Oh.
Can't do my dumb joke. I'm mad.
There's two of me now.
Long boy.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
long.
isn't that wide boy? The other one was long boy. This is the wide boy.
Okay, yeah. You go into it's less of a sewing room and more of a closet with a couple chairs and a lot of garbage.
Ah, I see.
Mhm.
Is there any sewing supplies?
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything in here.
Oh, all
What do you
right.
need? You want human?
What?
What?
Sure. So I'm guessing I can get a pretty clear look. It doesn't seem like I guess I in this the room's empty. I'm guessing, except for me.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Or is it?
The plot, it thickens.
You see, this is the perfect hiding spot for someone dressed as an animal. So...
What a fucking setup, my goodness.
Okay, so...
Are you going to summon this thing into that room? Is that what you're doing right now?
No, even better. So, weird question. In this world, is there anything akin to, like, is there any, like, incredibly popular, well-known, like, call and response thing? Like, you know how there's, like, the Shave and Haircut 2 Bits, or the Red Robin one, or the Lollipop song?
Why do you know all of these? Do you spend a lot of time knocking on strange doors?
What? These are just things that you know. As a human person.
I think if you told me that knock that you do when you want someone to finish it, I might have been able to replicate it for you, but Lord knows I would not have known what it was called.
It's shave and a haircut, 2 bits. It's,
yes, I got that.
Is there
it's
anything
weird.
like that here?
Yes,
Like in this
yes,
Komodo Islands?
Yes, definitely.
Do I know it?
Yeah, sure.
The catchiest one.
Yeah, of course you do. You invented it.
Okay. Oh, yes. I do the first half of that.
Yeah, what's it sound like?
I don't know. My character invented it, not me. He has an 18 charisma, not whatever charisma I have.
Commit to it. Do it.
Yeah, give it a try. What do you think?
I don't know.
Is it La Cucaracha?
If you like pina coladas.
If you like pina coladas.
Okay, yeah. So where are you knocking on this? You're closing the door and doing it on the outside, or you're doing it along the walls?
I'm on the inside of the room, and I'm not knocking or anything. I'm just doing the first half. As charismatically and as, like, making anyone present want to finish it as possible.
Okay.
Like, so that an actor,
yeah.
in particular...
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a D16, because that's a thing we can do, because we're playing online.
Oh boy.
D... Oh, I have to do 1d16, don't I?
No, you can just do D16.
Okay. Ooh, 5.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
Just
Oh, it's premium. I'm not a premium boy. No.
Oh.
Something
happened, and I
so
love
good.
it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
you find all three.
Rather they found you.
Oh, I see a little icon of a weird little man, and I love it. Oh, he's like a Viking.
A
or a
grumbly
dwarf.
a grumbly little dwarf. All right, so you're like bopping and dancing and playing your little drum set on there. Are you even fixing your thing?
Oh, nothing was actually
nothing
ripped.
was
That was
actually-
just trying to have an excuse to figure out where I should go.
Yeah,
I probably have my fiddle out, though.
in the
Rocking out.
sewing closet.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I think you've done your thing, and you just hear like a loud like.
Oh, is it in the room?
It didn't sound like it was in the room.
I go to follow the source of the...
Sure. Yeah. So
Maybe check on the far side of the wall
yeah.
here.
He again. How'd you just phase through the door? What's going on there?
Oh, I walked through. I walked through. This is the door, right?
Yes.
I opened
Yes,
the door,
but there's still a wall there.
and then I went around.
Yeah. He meets you on the other side. You see a dwarf with like a very pale complexion. You're not sure if he's old, sickly, or just like fresh out of the mines. It's not entirely clear. He has a long, like sleeveless coat on of a deep dyed purple. And he's got like his hair is tied back in like 3 ponytails. All of it is like black and gray. Same thing with his beard. He's got like just the twin braids coming down. Also like, black turning to gray. his hair is thin, like everything's very thin about him. He just looks like a very unhealthy individual overall.
Gotcha.
The only thing that is remarkable about him is he's got 2 pistols strapped to his side, and they are like clearly on display.
Ooh.
And
That is some Oh.
No, sorry. He
Oh, you can go on.
He looks at you. He kind of regards you, and go ahead and roll me. You can actually roll your charisma. Normally, I would make people roll wisdom on this, but
Nice.
you are such a learned fellow when it comes to like.
I needed below, right?
Yeah.
That's below.
Okay. Yeah. He is doing what dwarves do when they are like nervous, which is not terribly common, but you can see he's wildly out of his element, and he's kind of rocking back on his heels, and he's looking around. He heard the noise, and he seemed to have been interested in what was going on, but he's also being very cautious. And he's
So I
I
agree.
don't know how these things go. It's hard to tell if you were in distress or just a party goer.
I'm just a party goer. I've been searching for the painted men around. I admire the fine craftsmanship of your 2 pistols there. Incredibly wonderful quality.
You have an eye for these things, then, yes?
Yes. Well, you know what they say about dwarvish craftsmanship. It's unmatched.
Are you lying?
I mean, in every game I've ever played, the dwarves make, like, all sorts of crap.
Sure.
Like...
He takes one out, and he has, like, a very, very impressive draw speed, right? Like, his hands did not contain a gun a moment ago. And he's got it out, and he goes, well, the real thing that you need to understand about the deep borrow technologies, and he's, like, begun disassembling it, and he's, like, telling you all kinds of, wheel lock and flintlock and blunderbuss and handgun, and yeah, he's got a lot of technical stuff. Go ahead and roll an intelligence. Let's see if you are able to keep yourself above water.
Yes! I want low, right?
Yeah, no, I'm really impressed. So what is it about his explanation of these guns that like you managed to please him? Do you know the brand?
I have a feeling that because they're a slightly more fashionable, I guess, pistol. And I would assume that it's something that would be seen quite frequently as a dueling pistol, due to like the slightly more fancy nature. And having been a guy who gets into some shenanigans, he happens to know a noticeable amount of them. In particular, might know the brand.
Okay.
But basically, just in general, like him being like, oh, and well, there's this feature of the flintlock, and it's like, oh yes, and it's because of the spring mechanism, and like him having a slight back and forth about it.
Okay. Cool.
Like showing that he also has a fine knowledge of this weapon.
Yeah. No. He ends up being very taken with you. Your conversation is such that he invites you to sit down with him. And
Sure.
He invites you over here, and he says, at one point in the conversation, he stops you, and he says, I'm going to be honest with you, my good friend Lysander. I am here only because the Lord Velldammer needs a lot of doing. He has many enemies, and I am here because both the Paldo and the Decilios are looking to take my foundries from me, and I have not the deep pockets of the Lord Velldammer.
I understand. I'm guessing he's in the mining trade, correct?
No, Tovin Deepbarrow is the gunsmith.
Oh, wait, this is the gunsmith.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, holy moly! Yeah, so him losing his foundries would be awful.
Yeah,
I can understand the danger of that situation. I'm guessing they wouldn't be open to any sort of diplomatic solution either.
The rivals are looking to take him down. That's not his fighter. Dan.
Yeah.
You're coming up the stairs.
Oh.
That's you now.
So I am.
Lucky you.
Oh.
You're Harry. What has brought you up here?
I think I heard some voices, and I was like, oh, it think there's really anything going on up here, but I guess I'll walk around and see if I can at least make myself visible.
Okay. Were you following the group's voices, or are there some other voices around?
I'd only heard the folks here because they're right by the stairwell.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, so you come around the corner. Do you have anything you want to say? Do you introduce yourself, or are you waiting patiently for your turn?
So, I kind of just look at them awkwardly and stand off in the corner and just kind of watch them. I'm not trying to not be hidden, but I kind of forget that, hey, people can see me too. This vision thing goes both ways.
Should I roll perception to...
Did we go offline, or is that just on my end?
I saw nothing. I heard nothing. So
I'm seeing you.
Huh. It's telling me.
I just heard you say the thing about going offline on the stream. So
okay. I mean, that's good. I'm just super confused as to why mine's reporting I went offline.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I'm still seeing things.
Okay, cool. I won't panic about it then.
All right.
Yeah, so you said you're kind of like taking in the conversation, not really even thinking about the fact that you're there and people are staring.
Yeah, my character is not the most observant person. It doesn't necessarily think about what other people might be thinking.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, no, Tristan, I don't think you need to roll. I think
so.
You just get there. A man walks towards you and lingers long enough that you feel honor bound to include him in the conversation.
Yes. And so I when the conversation reaches a good point, I kind of turn to him and say, "Hello, sir. It's pleasant enjoying the party." Don't know what to say.
Yeah, I suppose there's certainly quite a lot to do around here, but kind of just waiting for something to catch my eye.
I'm surprised nothing has already with all that's going on, but I've gotten ahead of myself. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Lysander. What's his full name? Lysander Gildenkrantz Rosenstern. You can call me Lysander. It's an honor to meet you.
Yeah. Hi. Name's Win Ripley.
Win Ripley, okay. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. You talk a lot, huh?
Oh, I'm a bard. It is kind of... It's a part of my profession a little bit.
Oh.
You don't talk a lot, do ya?
I'm in trading. I talk about things. There aren't really a lot of things.
Ah, I see.
Tovin gets up and he puts his arm out to you, extends his hand.
Oh, hello.
He goes, "Hey, all right there, son."
Oh, hey, those are some cool looking pistols you got.
Oh, thank you. They are both my pride and my joy, named respectively.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, they're twin named pistols. That's cool.
Hey, they yours?
Yes. My design, my manufacture, well, my defense.
Oh. Both of them?
If you're looking to buy, I did not bring much with me, but we can sketch something up, of course.
I have a copper.
You just said you were a trader. Clearly, you must not be liquid right now. I understand.
I have 2 copper.
Maybe, and I sort of butt in just a little bit. So you mentioned that you're a trader. I'm sure if you are ever interested in some more stable trade routes, Lord Velddammer, you said?
Yeah.
Lord Velddammer has a vast quantity of high-quality merchandise. If you two were to set something up, some kind of trade deal, it might be beneficial for both of you.
Do you know this man?
Me?
Yeah, this Lord Velder, that guy.
Lord Velddammer, yes, he is. I have been familiar with his work quite a few times. Never been able to see something of this quality of handiwork this close before. Usually, I've never mind. That's less important.
Sure.
But he is a man of character and quality as fine as the pistols he wields.
Would you be willing to get me a meeting with this guy?
Lord Velddammer, would you like to meet with this traitor to arrange a
Lord
trade
Velldammer is
agreement?
the host of the party. You are speaking to
Oh.
Tovin Deepbarrow.
Shoot.
No,
I
don't
thought
shoot.
you were... I thought we were talking about Tovin Deepbarrow. Oh, shoot. I was speaking about the weapon
So-
trader this whole time.
Lysander's mask is beginning to slip. He's actually terrible at this. And we do a Tarantino just like pause of the scene as everyone's staring at Lysander like, wait, who's the stupid one in this situation?
I think it's me.
Yeah.
When I... So
And
that
we just-
entire time...
We just do a rack shot where we pull back from the three of you standing on the balcony and we refocus on oh, I forgot your name, damn it. Leopold, you're down in the dining and ballroom.
I am.
What's going on down there?
That's a good question. What's going on down there? I last was just kind of eavesdropping, kind of looking around, trying to hear something that might pertain or give way or hint of this odd note that I got.
So you're trying to like pick up on someone handing out little push pins with knives in them, or
Yeah, pretty like conspiracies, anything that people are just like
sure. So
being all sneaky.
sure. So if you remember, you had heard a little bit about what the hell's the note?
Yeah, I don't have my notes today, so this is terrible.
Why can't I find his damn name? The Marquis de Lantac, the noble who like sold out his troops in a fight with a Dwarven contingent who had guns, and he ran right, cut his losses, and came to the Tomoto Islands here to get away from it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's here, and you recognize you succeeded that check. I actually think it's clearly been a minute with all the other party members going around. We left you like listening to the conversation and wanting to know what was going on. But we come back. Nope. Why can't I spell today? Oh, of course you're a premium asset. You shit.
Mm.
Hold on. No, don't have a good one. Yeah, that'll be fine. Stumbling into the room, doing sort of like a topsy-turvy drunk walk, a little bit like Tristan earlier this morning when he tried.
That was good.
He tried to troll Mike. Yeah,
That was great.
the room gets a very excited and a very impatient energy as you hear someone whisper, "That's Igden the Loon." I can't wait to hear what he says next. I can't believe the Lord Velldammer brought him here. I heard he insulted him last party, right? Like blah blah blah. Igden the Loon is wearing uncomfortably tight pants, and like a leather jerkin that looks a lot like a jersey or a wife beater.
Okay.
He's got a very fancy like coat of some like exotic animal fur. It's either spots or stripes. It's not entirely clear. And he's got it folded over his hand, and that's the only thing. He's walking around like he's a server, right? That arm is very stiff and very solid, and he's like stumbling around, but that's never moving, right?
Okay.
He's clearly old. He's got, like just old saggy skin of like a man who's drank too much. But he's dyed it recently, and it's like a vibrant orange, although he didn't do a good job with it, so it's like you can see the roots really badly, and it's like faded on one side. from just like not being done very well.
Mm-hmm.
He is spouting a fresh sunburn, and he has one of his eyes is like cloudy white, or like it's been injured or like cataract. And he's just sort of like moaning as he's coming into the room, and he's going, "Hello, hello," and he's like strolling up to tables and kind of like falling all over them. And the people just really seem to be into it because they're like, "Oh, yes, what an interesting observation of the poor. I too have seen people stumble like that drunk coming out of bars. Can you imagine? I would never."
So basically, he's just like the joke of the party.
Yeah, right. Like he's the guy that everyone can point at and feel better about themselves.
Okay.
But he's sort of sauntering around. If I remember correctly, Tragedy is the only one that's left at the table with you, right?
Is she looking all right?
I think you probably meet her gaze at one point, and she just sort of rolls her eyes at whatever this creature is doing. And she can really roll her eyes because you remember she's got slug eyes, so it's pretty unsettling.
Oh no!
Yeah.
They just kind of like whip.
Yeah, it just like and comes back in.
Oh my god. Well, I guess I'll excuse myself from the table. Pardon me, Tragedy. I will be right back. It was wonderful meeting you. And I'll kind of like trundle off. Kind of figure out like what this dude is doing.
You're moving to engage the spectacle?
I believe so, as long as it wouldn't affect my social status. Do I have to roll for that? Because I do not want to associate with someone who's going to like bring me down in other people's eyes.
Sure. So you have etiquette, don't you?
Yes.
You are allowed to engage with the fool, right? Like everyone has to. It's part of the party, right? Like that's the game. Okay. The trick is to not make him feel like he's an equal, right? Okay. You have to make sure that you save some face at the end and then get everyone to laugh. It's like high school.
Oh, great.
So yeah, I think he's sort of stumbling, and most people right now are like enjoying the way he's moving around and the way he's like making a buffoon of himself. So you're like the first person who's like, I will, bite the bullet, so to speak, and I will talk to the poor creature.
Okay.
So he sort of is still like fumbling around, but you're like moving towards him. And he suddenly stands up very straight. He goes, "Well, what have we here? A survivor of the war, no doubt." And then he like pantomimes crying.
What?
And then he looks at you.
Well, of course, the war is never over. It's never done. My work, medic in the field, of course.
He goes, "It was you!" And he throws his coat on the ground. He slams his hands onto the table and he goes, "Why didn't you save my eye?"
Your eye? I think you're sorely mistaken. I've never seen you in my life, sir.
And he closes his good eye and he goes, "And I can't see anything either!" And he runs around the table really quick and gets like a whole bunch of people laughing. And apparently folds in on himself.
Oh no.
Go ahead and roll etiquette for me.
Etiquette. Oh god, how do I use?
I don't know if your macros are set or not.
That is a question.
See, somebody's are, but I'm not sure whose were. Yours are not. I think it's Tristan's are.
Oh, whoops! I don't really use the macros.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
etiquette's what? Charisma based?
Charisma based. He has a charisma of 17.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to steal it from you and drop it in there.
Oh,
I got to do it for
fine.
everyone, so.
Right.
So just a D20, I assume. No bonus, no nothing.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. You're kind of like keeping track of like what's happening here and the way people are responding, there's definitely some pageantry here, right? Like his job is to make as many people laugh as possible. Like he is supposed to be a spectacle. It's also his job to like make observations about things, like to inform people in like a non-threatening way. But you also, like, if you don't want to lose any credibility, like, you have to best him at least once, right? Like, his job is to do this sort of thing, so no one's expected to, right, like, constantly be, like, verbally dueling with him. But at one point you need to take the upper hand, or people will, like, remember that the fool humiliated you, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And there are a lot of different ways to do that, especially as, like, a noble. He has to play by certain rules that you don't necessarily have to abide by.
So I can just be, like, straight up mean?
Yeah, you can literally just, like, talk about how sad it is, or, you know, you can humiliate him. A cheap shot is just to talk about how he smells or something, and then everyone will laugh, and someone, you know, some stuffy old lady will agree, and they'll all cackle, and you will have won.
I think I'll comment on his coat. By God, what a gaudy coat you have there. What kind of animal would that be?
Let's see how he responds to that. The higher he rolls, the more vicious his barb shall be.
Okay. Oh, damn.
He flops down on... Right, he stops what he's doing. He's running around, right? And he looks at his coat, and he looks at you, and he looks at the audience, right? Because they're like, oh, what's going to happen now? And he runs over, and he flops on top of it, and he starts kissing it wildly, and he goes, you called her mother when you were younger. And he rolls around with her, and, like, you could hear a pin drop in the room, because no one knows what to do, because he definitely crossed a line, but they also think it's pretty funny.
Alright, so he said you called her mother one? Is that...
Yeah, right, like, he insinuated that the coat is your mother.
You wouldn't recognize your own mother?
Right.
The coat is my mother. Oh, man.
Yeah, and she's an animal. And there are other implications as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I wish I was witty today.
You can use the power of your friends if you would like. If someone has a good tip for you.
Does anyone have a good quip? Trying to think of something spicy.
Maybe make a comment about where she got a disease or something?
Wait, what?
Come on, man.
Oh, that's where she caught that from.
Ooh,
There you go. Yeah.
yikes.
Wait, didn't he say something about seeing?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
couldn't see.
He has like one gray eye from either combat or age. He is an old man.
All right. You, sir, couldn't tell a bat from a button. That is clearly your own mother. You wouldn't be able to see mine. She's too high up on a pedestal for you to even reach.
Nice. Okay.
Damn.
Good. Yeah. Right. So the room.
Button.
Right, the room that had like a lot of like anxious and nervous energy, right, but was like, oh, that was really good. What's he gonna do? Right, is he gonna fold? Right, all like sort of lets it out at once. Right, like everything that they thought funny about was his statement was even made even better by yours. Right, and he looks around, and he covers his good eye again, and he's looking, and he's thinking about it. Right, for a moment, he goes, Yes, your mother. Wherever can I find her? And he starts walking out of the room. Do you do anything?
You bested the fool, I think.
Oh, gosh. Was there a way to trip him as he was trying to head out?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just ever so, like, gently, just like a nonchalant kind of trip up.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll it as an attack. But he doesn't have an AC, or he has an AC of 8 right now because that's plenty, right? Because he's got his eye covered and he's not looking for you. He's not expecting you to go for a low blow like that. Joke's on him. Yeah. So how do you want to do it? Do you want him to just stumble, or do you want him to like go straight down on his face?
Probably just. Probably just on his face. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you want him to go down pretty hard. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's stumbling. I think at the last minute he hears you and he has to like pull his hand aside, but at that point you've already like you kind of swung your leg out and he just sort of like goes over the top of it. And he tries to like turn it into a bit of like a tuck and roll, but he doesn't manage to do that all, and he goes underneath one of the tables, right, and like pulls the sheet down and like a whole crash of food comes down onto him. And like the whole room is just like absolutely like just giddy with it, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say, or are you content with him just kind of you have bested the fool?
Yeah, no, it was definitely like a nonchalant move, just kind of like let it happen and then kind of move my way.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Or be on my way, yeah.
Okay, cool. Where do you want to head? We don't need like the destination, but kind of what direction, or what are you aiming towards? Do you like go outside? Do you go upstairs? Do you?
I think I'm headed more towards like the section, the back section here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he was kind of heading out this way, but you're just gonna go to the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. We like cut, and the same time that everyone's like laughing hysterically from the fool tripping and falling, we cut back to the little like architectural bust of the saint, right, falling off the ground. So Squid, I need to know what you're doing. Like, it's probably not like a saint of Palor, right? I think that's like a little too specific, but it's definitely like a wholly important, like sculpture. Maybe not a relic per se, but right, like, can you permit that breaking in your presence, or would you like need to like jump and catch it, kind of thing?
She would have to move past this guy to catch it.
Yeah, right, because he is between you and it, because he was like kind of looking at it when he turned and kind of snapped at you a little.
She has a bad feeling about this guy, and she doesn't trust him, so she just stares at him and lets it drop.
Okay. Yeah, I think so we cut in and we see the sculpture kind of falling, right? And like the trope would be that someone catches it at the last second, right? Like manages to like save face. But instead it's just like we see it falling and we see this super deadpan shot of it just like fall and just shatter into a bunch of pieces as the two of you are just glaring at each other. And he's sort of gritting his teeth, kind of sizing you up, and you're kind of making the decision of what you're going to do next. So he basically told you, like, I will get you out of this house if you're going to be a liability, if you're afraid, but otherwise I need you to work with me. Make your choice.
I will not be a part of an assassination, but I also will not leave if there are going to be casualties, as you say. My healing services will be...
Healing services will be what? Sorry, you cut off right at the end.
Needed.
He takes a real long look at you.
She just stares back at him.
Yeah, and he goes, "This I can work with. This I understand and I appreciate. You are here for a reason, clearly, although I am worried that reason is negligence. Not your fault. You are working the miracles Palor has granted you. You are following your calling. Yes, very well. Let us minimize the damage as it is. Lord Velldammer has brought in many different masks to hide behind. Do you understand?
Yes.
There are enough bad people here mixed in with the good that the Inquisition arriving will undoubtedly cause trouble. Some will fight, some will kill, some will use others to their advantage. And all the while, Lord Velldammer is scheming. He is not a good man, he is simply a man that was used.
Is there no other way to stop him?
Do you have anything in the way of diplomacy? Or would you just like rely on your religious tenets to sort of make like an emotional connection with Black Ember?
I have etiquette.
But that is very helpful with most of the people here. That will actually not help you with him specifically. You could just use a straight religion check. That's fine. I'm just wondering if you had any other way to go about it.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. So go ahead and roll a etiquette if you would, please, or not etiquette, or religion if you would. Etiquette. You got. Don't quite have the rolls tonight, do you? He says, I will be sure to move you into position when the time is right, but if you're looking to save the Lord Velldammer, I apologize. That ship has sailed. And he just starts to walk away. He's going to open up the secret passage into the room, and he sort of, peeks out to make sure that no one's there. Hey, guess who's there?
Oh, hello.
Yeah. What's your reaction to a dark cloaked figure coming out of a wall, for a lack of better terms? And then Gwen, it looks like you're coming right behind him.
Oh, so he hasn't seen me?
No, he definitely did, because he opened the door.
Because he was looking. Okay.
Yeah, right. But like, what are you gonna go back in the room because somebody saw you? Like, fucking ship sailed, man. Like, own it. He looks at you, and he doesn't like crack. He just is like, good. It's not anyone I'm worried about, and he keeps walking out the door. But the question is, does Gwen come out, and then how does not Eckert? What was your name? Leopold react?
Well, I'm very unsurprised by this cloaked figure.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a giant party mansion. Of course, there's secret passageways. But Squid, do you follow him out?
I do.
Okay.
He didn't. If he didn't make any sign that anything was wrong, she just followed.
Yeah, no, he didn't like. I mean, you can read into this as much as you want. You can expect that were it someone that was dangerous, he might have given you a sign or something, right? He would basically be considered a temporary ally right now if this was a video game and we could check his status. Yeah, he just sort of marches out. He looks at you, Leopold, and doesn't really make a thing of really regarding you in any excessive capacity, and he just continues walking. Unless you're like, excuse me, I actually need to talk to you about that weird room you were just in.
No, I think I just would let him go.
Okay.
I'd probably approach Squid's character, though.
Yeah, so Gwen also came out of that room, which is probably more surprising.
Yeah. So I'd approach her. Excuse me, miss, are you alright?
I'm fine, just church business.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Leopold Gaspard. It's very nice to meet you.
Gwendolyn Ward.
Gwendolyn, lovely name. So what was that about? You don't see too often at a party a mysterious cloaked figure.
As I said, it was church business.
Very interesting church attire.
Is there something either one of you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It is a masquerade.
Oh, that's so good. I want to cut it right there. That's so good. Right, because, like, Gwen's, like, looking around and looking at him, and he's just, like, straight walking away, right? Like, the conversation is heavy with the, like, you realize what this looks like, right? And you look and you just beam so brightly. You're like, well, it is a masquerade. And we just, like, cut right back to the other two on the second floor. Lysander, you've had plenty of time to think about how to fix your faux pas.
So, what was the dwarf's name again?
Tovin Deepbarrow.
Deepbarrow, and I'm guessing he goes by... Alright.
He goes by Mr. Barrow.
He goes by
was
Mr.
his father.
He goes by Mr. Deepbarrow?
Yeah.
Alright, so... Can I call him Tovin? We've had a little chat.
Yes.
As I was saying, should you make a deal with my good friend Tovin Deepbarrow here in order to start shipping some of his quality wares and allowing his business to be more noticeable across the Tomoto Island? The Tomoto Isles, that's the name of this country, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be a beneficial situation for both of you.
I suppose it might, but I only deal with men of a certain character. I would need to speak with him a while myself.
And I kind of turn to Tovin.
Yeah.
Okay, I turn to Tovin and say, would that work well enough for you? It could be a good possible business opportunity, maybe to help stabilize the foundry a bit.
He scowls at you, Win.
Yes.
And says, men of a certain caliber. I'm afraid I don't understand the implication.
Well, it's surely about business history. I only deal with those who are on the up and up, as you might say.
Could I jump in real quick?
Hold on. And he looks back and forth, and he leans in a little bit, like breaking that physical barrier. How do you react to that?
Well, I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but my character, he's 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
And there's a dwarf here who is leaning in.
4'2".
Leaning into your kneecap.
And he has pistols.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit on guard. Sure. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious. Do you hold your ground? Do you take a step back?
Oh, definitely hold my ground. Yeah. You know, I've been intimidated by far worse.
Yeah. That's. I was just curious how he reacts to it. Right. So when I say he leans in, right, he moves closer to you and he has to look up, but he's a dwarf. Somehow they don't make they never feel less than, right, when they have to look up. That's just the way the world is, but they're still mean and tough. Right?
Sure.
And he looks up at you and he goes, anyone else? That might have been an insult. But I understand what you're saying. The folk that are trying to take my hard-earned foundry from me, they'll use any tactic. They come at you sideways. Does that make sense?
I wish it didn't, sir.
I think we have plenty to talk about. And he points to a wall, which is not wildly helpful. He says, the other side there. The other side. There's some rooms we can go and have a conversation that's a little more private. I've been to one or two of these things. Do you have any interest?
Yes, I suppose it might be in a mutual benefit to have non-inquisitive ears. And I look over at Lysander, and I just give him like a knowing look to like just be like, are you paying attention? Like you realize what we're trying to do here? Like,
play it cool.
Oh, I should leave you to Tovin. I hope that the deal goes well for you, and if you ever receive an opportunity, I would love to be able to see the foundry that I hope will stay with you and your family for generations to come. And then I start wandering away to leave them to their more important business.
Yeah, where do you go?
All right. So, looking around, what looks neat? I want to go to.
a question.
I want to go over here. This stuff looks cool.
Yes. So he walks away, and the camera stays with the dwarf and the 6'6" giant, right? And Tobin goes, "Do you think he realizes we're going over there?"
You know, I try not to judge what people do or do not notice in these sorts of situations. I'm not the best myself. Perhaps we could just pretend that we weren't going over there, and we'll head downstairs.
You'll notice when you've gone to a couple of these things, you gotta work opposite to the party. It's early, so they're still downstairs, but in about an hour or two, everyone moves up. It's when we go down.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps
we
something.
could. Yeah.
We'll just pretend we don't see him, and he starts walking that way. He just right. So at a certain point, Lysander, you just see the two. I mean, I guess I don't know that Wynn walks by, but assuming he does.
What is this circular thing? Ooh, it's so lovely. There's a dot over here.
Yeah, that's the fireplace. Don't stand in the fire.
Oh,
oh no.
Oh, it's a fireplace. Oh, they're hiding in the chimney.
All right, so I'd like to move my avatar. I'm not sure how to do that.
It's not owned by you, huh?
It might be. I'm clicking, and it's not doing anything, so that's all.
You should... There's two things I had to do when I set this up. What the hell was the other one? Current. Yeah, no. No, that's not doing it. What the fuck did I do? Wish I could watch the stream, because I just did it for Tristan's a minute ago.
Well, regardless, I just basically want to follow Tobin.
Yeah, I mean, I'll move you, but that should be doing what I want it to do, and I'm not quite sure why it's not. Damn it. That wasn't what I wanted either. Oh. Where is it? Controlled by. There it is. Got it. There you go. Can you move him now?
Hooray.
Can you move him?
Hooray. Yes, I can.
Oh, he's not moving. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Cool. Good. We lose you, squad?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I clicked over to see Twitch, and then when I clicked back, it was logged me out. But I should be back in a second.
So, where we are over here, these are these like tables? Are they like?
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Okay, so we're kind of sitting around a table.
Yep, tables with couches, and the rooms are sort of pretty well recessed, and they each have like a pretty thick like canvas screen that you can like pull shut, right? Mm-hmm. And the first two, sorry, I meant to go one more over and didn't. The first two are closed. The second one, you see a face, and the face. I'm gonna explain to you what you see, and then you're gonna tell me how you feel.
Okay.
Very similar to Tobin is a pale skinned creature. It's a humanoid with like a very like narrow but square face with sharp almond eyes that like seem to have, maybe he's got like makeup or something on, right? Because they kind of just like jut out of his face in a way that seems like possessive or almost attacking. He's got straight brown hair that kind of like is just like middle part that cascades kind of halfway down his head, but it's like chopped very suddenly, and kind of his whole like persona strikes you as very like militarized, right? Like looks like official in that sort of way.
Okay.
He's got like just very, very like fine, well put together, just like dark blacks, dark blues, and whites with like very striking of those wooden toggles down the front of his shirt, right, where like they feed through a cord. And everything about him is like well put together, like not a hair out of place, absolutely pristine, except for a fresh broken nose that is like dribbling blood.
Okay.
And he is pulling the curtain shut as you walk by.
Okay.
And then can you make a wisdom check for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do I have macro set up, or do I need to just roll a 20?
Yeah, just roll 20, sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, roll 20.
Actually,
that's the program.
the straight wisdom would probably do it for you, but yeah.
Yeah, might as well just...
Okay. Yeah. What experience, if any, does Wynn have with the undead?
Well, I think he's come across artifacts that people have gathered from fighting them.
Mhm.
He's come across journals, stories. He's basically just looked at them for their authenticity to sell them to museums and such. But
Would you say
as
it
far
belongs
as
in a museum?
to sell them to museums and such.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as actual undead, he knows that he can better take out the living threats, and so he hasn't sought it out, but definitely is aware that they exist.
Okay. Why do you immediately recognize the scent of fresh grave earth? And it's that cloying sort of like miasma around this individual. Is that just again dealing with the artifacts, or were you like taken along on an excursion once?
I think probably probably taken along on an excursion maybe when I was younger, when I was in my apprenticeship, and kind of realized quickly that hey, this is not something I want to mess around with.
Okay.
And so that memory of that smell is deeply ingrained in my memory.
Yeah, he does that thing where he's already busy and he assumes you're not even going to notice, right? So he looks at you and you look at him and you kind of take him in pretty quickly and you smell what he's cooking, and he closes the curtain and you're like, his nose might have been broken, but that wasn't his blood. That man is dead. What do you do?
Do I have a sense that that Tobin is always ready and willing for combat?
I mean, he is wearing 2 dueling pistols.
They're not the decorative sort, though. They actually, he uses them.
Oh yeah, they work. Yeah.
They're his pride and joy.
Well, we're dealing with aristocracy here. People do just eccentric things. Okay, so I think probably I say to Tobin, "You smell that?"
Yeah, and he stops and he turns and he looks and he walks over to the balcony because this room kind of seated over it, right? And he goes, "Ugh, duck. I didn't realize it was so late already."
Yeah, duck. Great smell. You know, you can't help but think back to swamps and other places like that when you hear that smell, that stagnation, right?
He turns and he's looking at you. He goes, "Nope, I'm afraid you've lost me."
So do I feel like that the gentleman-ish thing in the other room here can hear me?
I think you could speak in such a way that he would, yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you have been speaking in that way.
Okay. So far, I've been kind of just trying to be kind of in the middle of the road here, and then I go up to him and I say quietly, "As much as we may dislike it, we may need to go rejoin our friend."
He goes, yeah, he's looking around. He's gotten the idea that something's going on, but he hasn't figured out what it is.
Okay, and so rather than pass that room again, I think I want to try to get Lysander's attention. And so I had heard a silly knock of sorts earlier, and I knew it was either Tobin or him, and so I repeat
and
that.
you've met Tobin, so it's not Tobin.
Right, and I know it's not Tobin. So I want to repeat that knock.
Sure.
So do I need to roll to hear it?
No.
Okay, so I hear it?
Yes.
So I invented that. You know, I rush to the sound. I say, "Oh, hello again. Did you know I invented that?"
And just as he's about to pass by that doorway, I say, "Hold, friend."
Oh. Yes.
And I say, "Do you smell that dinner is ready?" And I give him kind of a very wide-eyed look.
Would this be wisdom to pick up what he's putting down?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. So wisdom.
Crazy.
Oh no. I have 9 wisdom.
There's always a chance. Hey!
Nice.
Oh yes. I kind of look around, and I do like a neck slashing motion. I see it has been finely prepared.
And as he says that, I'm reaching into my little jacket that I'm wearing, and I'm pulling out a set of brass knuckles.
Oh, nicknamed Thoughts and Prayers.
Actually,
that's good.
So it's actually one of them is labeled loyal, is what it says on the knuckles.
Yes.
And so that's what that's the one that I put on as my right hand.
Is the other one true?
I'll accept it.
The other
yes.
one actually says smell, but no one really got the joke, so.
So I'm obviously preparing and
Yeah.
motioning to Tobin that he maybe should do the same.
Yeah, cool. All right, I like that. I'm gonna cut that real quick. We're back downstairs. What was the response to? Well, it's a masquerade, or are we past that? Did we just leave that scene behind and go somewhere else with our friends?
I feel like he, softly laughs. He's like, of course. And kind of plays it off like he's uninterested in the whole situation, that it's behind him, but he's still very interested.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's nobility. That's where he thrives.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, making a mental note of the way that guy looked and this person before me.
Sure. Okay. Are you guys still standing there? Are you, moving back into the room? You had, Riley, you had kind of been trying to get away from Igden the Fool for a moment, or Igden the Loon, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, exploring, looking around, trying to figure out where I'm going. Where does this lead?
Sure. So there is a really long table here, right? That has a few chairs set up on it, but not as many as most of the other ones. It looks like they've maybe drawn from that. And then there's it's this glass. Where's my arrow? It's that one. This is all glass here, and then on this other side, and there's this thin little balcony here that stretches from one side of the room to the other. Now one half of the building to the other, because you remember you go up a set of stairs when you come in here, so even though this is the first floor, right, it's up, right, a good 15-20 feet from whatever's underneath it. So there's a fountain, which is that giant circle there underneath everything. So it looks as though whoever the shadowy cloaked figure opened the door, walked across the balcony, went in on the other side. While you guys were kind of having your quick little conversation, because he is actually gone.
Okay. So wait, is this outside?
It looks into outside. You can take the doorway that's basically right here or right here and go outside.
I see.
Yeah, it's a pretty narrow balcony, more or less. That one could jump down into the fountain. The fountain's like 6-7 feet deep.
I drowned myself in the fountain.
All right, cool. Next game.
Well, we're still alive.
I mean, are you gonna be in a minute?
Jeez.
I mean, probably.
Oh, so there's nothing. I don't know. There's nothing that really is piquing my interest here. What the heck did my notes say again? Like, do you have that written down? It was something about like the last tick, an hour before the last tick.
Mm-hmm. You better be alone.
Better be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it say to meet? Did it say anything about meeting?
It did. It did. But if you don't remember it, I'm not reminding you right now. I'm gonna make you suffer.
Wow, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
An avocado. Thanks.
Thanks.
Are you pulling it out right now to like sort of get a look at it?
I was going to, but
Okay. Squid, what are you doing with this situation here?
Well, she kind of watches him curiously for a minute, but I think she goes back down to grab some food before shit hits the fan.
Okay, cool. Do you say anything to him when he's sort of like standing there pondering his own, or you just sort of slip away when you have the excuse?
Yeah, she just slips away.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually don't have it written down in front of me. I'm gonna have to consult it. It was something to the effect of meet me somewhere an hour past the last tick, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
You best be alone. Dan, you listened to it recently. Do you remember what I said?
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't
Yeah.
write it down on these notes rather. So it was something to that effect. Yeah, we'll have to consult it elsewhere. We'll cheat and we'll say you go to grab it and read it and you can't find it in your pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only added bonus of recording the games. We can go back and read it, just not at this moment.
Yeah.
Through the magic of video.
Don't even mess with me with video, man.
Do you even know what that is?
I don't, as we proved earlier today. Okay. So you turn, you can't find your note, you turn, the weird shadowy figure is gone, you turn, so is the cleric. Like, got a lot of cants in your life right now.
How dull.
Yeah.
I start making my way back.
Okay.
She's just at the table there eating, so she's not very far away.
That wasn't your original table. You are fine to move if you would like. I just want to make sure you're doing it consciously.
Yeah, she's mingling.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. I'm actually going to leave that there then and wait for the next event to hit then, because you guys aren't, not that it's an issue. The party goes all night. But if you're not making anything happen, I'm going to shift back upstairs because they're about to go bust into a room and start some drama.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
You
this
think
drama.
so?
All right, let's snap back upstairs. So, what do we see when like the camera goes back up? Are you guys like about to rip that like curtain back open, or are you making your presence known?
So
oh,
no, go ahead.
okay.
So anyway, like I was saying,
I have a question.
yeah.
Okay, so this curtain, does it go all the way to the floor? Can I see like around the outside? Can I see over the top? I'm really tall, so can I see like, is there like the top part where like the little rings hang from? Can I kind of peek in through the top?
There are rings, but yeah, no, they're taller than you are. Like,
Okay.
This guy spares no expense, and it does go to
Okay.
the floor.
It does go to the floor.
Not draped, so right, like you could, but
Right,
pretty
that
much.
would be we'd be pretty vulnerable if we did that.
Yeah, it would be pretty obvious. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, so they're curtains, you say, right?
Uh-huh. They're pretty thick canvas material that's been like dyed like a vibrant and starry blue, but yeah, still at the end of the day.
So do I know where, like, what side of the room he went into? Like, is there like, how big is this room? Like,
yeah, right. Like
how wide is it?
It's like 15 feet. They're little cubbies just to like sit down and have a conversation with someone.
All right, so it's 15. Okay, so it's 15 feet wide.
Yeah.
So it's a decent amount in there of space.
Can I kind of hold up a hand? Like
yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, so I hold up a hand. First, I kind of point at the at the center room that you stopped me just before, and I kind of like look at it like inquisitively, like pointing and trying to be like, this one.
Oh, yeah, and I nod my head.
Okay.
So I think what I do is, seeing obviously what we're all dealing with as far as weapons, I know that I'm probably going to be taking the lead on this, and so I position myself not right in front of the curtain, like a couple feet back, and I motion to Lysander and to Tobin to kind of take the sides, so that they have a good vantage point. Okay. So kind of like I'm kind of like, we're almost kind of like in a V shape.
So after we kind of arrange ourselves, I hold up a finger and I'm like, all right, well, it smells like dinner's ready. Let us go off and enjoy a fine meal of duck. And, like, shaking my head, and then I do some of those like footsteps and like, oh yeah, and like talk a little quieter, make it sound like we're walking away.
Stomps on the ground.
Stop.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh well, see, the thing about that.
Okay, you tried it,
So-
sure.
All right.
Did I roll
and
charisma?
I think maybe who's got highest perception out of us?
Ventriloquism.
It's not going to be me if it's wisdom.
Yeah. What is it? What does that roll off of? Perception is off of wisdom. Because I wanted to try to see if I hear any movement from the inside.
If you hear any what?
Movement.
Yeah, you do not. You do not hear any movement.
Okay. So I think at this point then, I think we just
Throw the curtain open.
yeah, we just throw. I throw the curtain open is what I'm gonna do, because I want you guys. You're a caster, right, Lysander? Or what's your?
I have like 2 spells.
Okay, so but you do have somewhat of a ranged component, correct?
Not I'm more of a rapier guy, but I could try ranged.
Well,
Worst case scenario.
okay, well, but Tobin definitely is.
Yes, he has guns.
those. Yes, and he has them out. He's prepared. So, yeah, I think at this point, I barge in and fling the curtain back. Don't necessarily run into the room, but I fling the curtain back wide open so that both Tobin and Lysander can see what's going on inside too.
Yeah, so I wanna take a narrative control for 1 second. What happens is we see you guys like doing the thing, and everyone's kind of getting ready, and you're like shuffling around to make your sort of wedge formation, right? And we're like staring at you guys, looking at this curtain, and the camera zooms in slightly, so it's just like the blue black of this canvas, right? And it zooms in enough that that's all you can see, so you don't see it, but we hear you guys, right? And then all of a sudden, it sort of like fades to just grayscale, and then it's like a heat map, and we see the 3 of your forms just outlined in red, right?
Jeez. Oh.
And then we see you guys, we see Lysander doing his...
Oh.
But he's standing there, right? We just see him pantomiming, right? And there's just enough of that like unsteady camera that we get the idea that we are looking at it from whatever's in there's perspective, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you throw the curtain back. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. Here we go.
65 bats come flying out of that room, screeching, scrapping, howling, flapping their dirty little wings, right? What is the reaction? Because I'll tell you, Tobin fires several times.
Right, yeah, that's obvious.
I dive out of the way and run!
Yeah. Alright, so go ahead and roll a d10 just for initiative. Not that you're necessarily fighting, but...
right, why would we be fighting?
I mean, you can fight anything you want. As long as it's,
Damn
bats.
I can and I will.
Right.
No.
Yay, I got out of there. I probably also shriek. Ah!
Oh, I gotta roll for Tobin too. Sorry. I was
That's
like, where's the last one? Come on, guys. Okay, so, yeah. Lysander, do you run away or do you just hit the deck?
I want to run. I want to stay on my feet, being like, ah, and kind of maybe just go kind of around that corner, like peeking out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's happening? There's
Sure.
so many bats. Ah!
So as he's running away, I like turn to Tobin and I yell, "Some friend you made there."
You don't judge me.
Are you doing anything in particular, or because you
I-
go right
I-
after?
I kind of go off to the side of the room, so I'm gonna go over with Tobin. I think he's off to the side too. I'm gonna be over here with him, because as soon as the bats come out, I know that there's probably something else in there that I can't see now, and so I jump off to the side.
Okay. Yeah, he the bats go at the same time you do. I'm also really upset because all the bat swarms are paid only, so I don't actually get to drop like 1,000 bats like I wanted to.
Wow.
I mean, there you go. There's some. I see them.
So bats are, and people on the floor below can see this.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Okay. I hope so.
yeah. No, we have created a little spectacle here, haven't we? So there's all my bats. There's 65 of them.
Oh boy.
Not that.
Did Tobin hit any of them with his shots?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's just 65 of them, so all of the bats go out at once, right? All of them fly this direction, right?
Mhm.
And then over the top of the ballroom, and it's just like an absolute scandal of people shrieking, yelling, hollering, throwing tables, throwing things. A few other people throw weapons out into the crowd, right? Like
I'm pleased because it's finally not dull.
yeah, no, it is definitely exciting. Yeah, I'll roll 2 attacks for Tobin, and then all of the bats crash into the stained glass window that's on the second floor, right? And I'm gonna have to roll a strength check for the bat swarm to see if they break through the window.
One flappy boy.
I hope they don't. I think that would be
Like all-
really funny to just have them all smack against the window. Oh, I think they got it.
Is high good?
Yeah, he hits one of the bats.
Okay.
Oh, that's them. Okay.
Okay.
64 bats.
Mm-hmm.
was a
Somebody
good
who's not me,
roll.
pick a number between 1 and 65.
60 or 32.
Did you almost say 66?
He did.
I misheard. 32.
Okay. He does not kill the bat that is of enormous importance. He kills just a
Okay.
regular type.
Oh boy.
Okay.
But he does kill an bat,
If he got the right one, though, damn.
right? Someday it'll happen.
Oh, all right.
Damn.
I think I know what's up.
So, bat swarm. Bat swarm
Mhm.
attacking a stained glass window. They've got to hit. They gotta get a hit of 15. Oh wait, no, that didn't work. Hold on. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So 64 bats all flap into the window, right? And then a couple of them also fall onto the ground stunned, right? And then a lot of them are like circling up on top of it. Do you Win, are you like what's going on with the bats, or you what's going on in the room?
So first off, the room is closer, and so if there's a threat there, that's more important to me anyway. Because if I turn my back on it, I'm going to get yanked. So I peek my head around, not necessarily right at the corner. I kind of do the like take a wide stance around the corner and like peek my head around like real quick to see what's still in there.
Yeah, there is a dead body, right, with like a smattering of blood around on the ground. The table has like a few like dents in it from not only like a weapon being swung around, like either chips from a sword or like a dent from a hammer or something, but also like massive like claws or talons have dug into it, right? There was a fight, definitely a fight.
Okay, so I think at this point, does it look like there's any movement or life left or unlife left in it at all?
You do not think that you possess the means to cure this individual.
I guess that's not what I'm talking about. Do I think that it's still a threat, even though it is?
It looks like a dead party goer. I don't know that you know enough about vampires to suppose what could happen next. That being said, if you want to go finish the job, you are more than welcome to.
Yeah, I think you said that. Oh my God, the guy with the rapier just ran away.
I'm just around the corner. What's in there?
I yell out, Lysander!
What?
Need you to chop off a head.
Oh no.
You know how effective rapiers are for beheading someone.
As a matter of fact, I just heard about that today.
Yeah, you just learned about that.
Yes.
Egad, sir! Wait, with a rapier?
Yeah, so
you know how effective rapiers are.
You run in. Tobin has enough presence of mind to not fire at the glass window. He's going to go ahead and roll again and try and attack some more bats. Hey, he's got 2 of them this time.
Ooh.
Not counting the number 11. Roll, or somebody pick. 2 people pick a number between 1 and 65.
65.
24.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, so
so two more bats hit the ground. None of them seem to be the ones. And then everyone can roll a wisdom perception check, because you're all in the balcony or in the ballroom, and there is nothing else to notice at this party right now.
Yes.
Ooh, that's accurate. What am I? So just 20.
Yep. Just comparing it to your wisdom score.
I don't remember my wisdom. Oh, okay.
I think I got it this time.
Yeah, you did. So I think that might be the first check you've actually succeeded, Squid.
Woo! I barely made it. I got 16 wisdom, so.
Nice.
I don't see my wisdom.
So all of you see. I might not have put it in, but it's not a 7, so.
I'm rolling blind here, guys.
All of you see like this, like bat cyclone going on the upper floors of this party hall, right? Like it is a scene, it is a spectacle. Regardless of what happens, like the Inquisition could show up and burn this place to the ground, and they may, but people are still going to talk about the 65 bats Lord Velddammer let out into his party just to like scare everyone, and how hilarious it was, right? All of you see like 3 of them sort of stop kind of hanging in midair and suddenly bah, 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 right, like into the glass window, and they die on impact, right, like flying extraordinarily fast, with no like clear discern for their own survival. Tristan, do you remember the Pokemon Golbat?
Is that the evolved form?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god, that's just a giant mouth and
Yeah.
horrible little wings.
Yeah, and a
and
tiny,
no
or
eyes.
in a massive little tongue hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that flies by you, gives you a little wink, right?
The winking.
And I'm gonna need you to make a saving throw. And
All right.
it's
Against
going to be Lysander saving throw. It is going to be paralyzation, poison, or death magic.
or death magic.
Oh boy.
My okay. Submit. Oh, thank God.
Man, what a lucky SOB. For a brief moment, it says, I need you to do something for me, Lysander. I know
What is
there's
that?
a lot of money here. You like money, right?
Maybe. Where's the money?
I need you to go downstairs. I need you to have a conversation with someone.
With who?
And then it flies away, and you're like, what was I talking about? And it hits the glass window, which has already started to crack.
Mhm.
It explodes, right? Glass goes flying everywhere down into the fountain, right?
Mhm.
Raining down on the two balconies. And the bats fly out into the night. And that's actually where we're going to end for tonight.
Cool. Do I remember that little conversation?
Something. Yeah. Why were the bats flying everywhere? That was weird, right?
Yeah.
Not normal.
Do I at least have a feeling of talking to someone in a basement?
You talk to someone. All
I
right.
should talk to. Well, it's like maybe I should go to the basement. When's the
Well-
basement gonna open?
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anyone want to establish anything that their character's doing before we end, or are we good to just cut there and we'll pick right back up with the glass still falling through the sky? Through
I
the
think Win is so is Lysander actually trying to take the head off of that thing right now, or he didn't make it that far? He didn't make it that far.
I'd say at best he's probably got his hand on it, and he's like, what?
I'm not going to decapitate it with a rapier. I'm not using my weapon on the body.
Okay, so at this point, then I'm like, all right, well, that's his problem. If he's close to it, he'll die first.
I'm not close to it. I didn't get close to it.
So anyway,
I
I'm looking
stayed
at
far away.
I'm looking at all the bats that are stunned, that are still there, because there were some that you said were still there.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, I suppose we clean up.
Wow. 2, 3 stunned. Wow.
And so I motioned to Tobin and that we should go take care of the stunned bats before they revive.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I talk to the staff about the body? And I kind of creep slightly closer, but still maintaining.
Squid, what are you doing?
I'm kind of picturing her, like, probably back in the monastery. She's had to do some of the grunt work of chasing the bats out of the belfry, so she's probably not too terrified of bats.
Sure.
So when they come flying out, she startles, but then she just kind of, like, sighs, rescues a glass of wine before the table gets flipped from somebody else, and just takes a long drink.
Yeah, that was kind of what I figured Leopold was doing too, so Riley, give us some insight to close it out on.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's loving it because he literally just walked out of the room like, this is entirely dull.
Yeah.
And then this just
Right. And
unfolds.
then spectacle after spectacle.
Yeah.
Lord Velddammer paid at least 2,000 gold to have that stained glass window assembled, and a bunch of bats just broke it open and threw glass all over a bunch of snooty nobles.
Sips tea, but that's not my problem.
Got it! Oh, so close, so close!
Oh, that's so good. No, I love that. I think we rewind it a little bit. Like we see the flash of each character doing their thing, right? And it ends with Lysander sort of crawling over out of the corner of his room. He's like, "Should I talk to the staff about the dead body?" And we just we just hard cut for this episode. Well, all right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hopefully, you had a good time. We had a pretty good turnout today. Pretty steady on like 6 to 8 followers, viewers, which is nice. So we'll be back. We're definitely gonna be back in 2 weeks. I'm actually gonna poke some people and see either doing a double session or else running a different game opposite to this one. But yeah, we'll see what happens as the time allows. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. So everybody have a good night, and we are out.
Thanks.
Bye everyone.
Later.